the US. The most Googled word in the US right now by far is Bitcoin. 1.9 million searches per month. I don't know why so many people are still searching Elvis. And then Disney World, Spider-Man, whatever, right? But then you look on the right side, globally, Bitcoin is more than almost all the searches combined. Bitcoin is the most searched word in the US and in the world by far. And why is that? Everyone wants to opt out of their current financial situation. Everyone wants to know about Bitcoin. Even if they don't quite understand that fiat and banks are all built on a Ponzi scheme, you know what? Bitcoin is coming up from bottom. It's getting exciting once again. There's a lot of developments happening. Countries and companies and institutions are all embracing. Why would you not want to learn about Bitcoin? That's why so many people are coming in, and this next cycle will be just absolutely crazy. It'll be bonkers compared to our previous cycles. And speaking of cycles, Plan B showed this, where we are in our current cycle. Red obviously indicates the low point. Low points of our cycles. You could see that, yeah, we were in our low point for quite some time this cycle, right? 2022, especially the second half of 2022, very early of 2023, no good. That's when Bitcoin fell to 15, 16K. But the blue indicates the start of the bull cycle. Red is kind of the end of the last cycle. Blue indicates we are starting a new cycle, a new bull cycle, right? And you could clearly see that we are in the blue. We have a lot of metrics like this. This is called a fishnet moving average ribbon. You know, it's one of those moving averages ribbon, and whenever you cross it, good things happen. So not only did we start our new bull cycle, okay, heading towards the next halving event, but who knows how high the top is. Look at the previous times that has happened. A 230x gain, a 60x gain, a 10x gain, right? We go see another 10x. We go see another 60x from here, right? We don't know. But even a 10x from here would indicate a 280,000 Bitcoin. So maybe we don't get a 10x. Or maybe we do. Maybe we get a 5x, right? I don't think anyone would complain if we get a 5 or 6 or 7x from here. But it goes to show you we are still on our way, right? Next halving event is closing in. Who knows how high this top will be, but we do know this. Bitcoin will break through its previous top of 69,000 and continue forward. And it's doing this despite everything that's going on in the world, which is just really amazing if you think about it. 10 years ago, 12 years ago, Satoshi introduced Bitcoin. And at that time, who would have thought Bitcoin would have become what it is today? Like no one. I don't even think Satoshi realized it could be this big. He had dreams, of course. He talked about it, and others talked about how Bitcoin could one day be $1 million, right? But that's just wishful thinking back then. Now it's actually become reality. This is the case. There are so many that believe that Bitcoin could actually reach $1 million and beyond in the near future. Not like 100 years in the future, not 1,000 years in the future. We're talking about less than 10 years, Bitcoin can be $1 million. That's just mind-boggling if you think about it. And here's another one. This is a monthly, so stochastic. Again, showing you crossover upwards, what generally happens when you cross over. Very, very good things. Pomp tweeted this out. Over 50%, in fact, 53% of the supply have not moved in 2 years. That's pretty outstanding if you think about it. All-time high, right? And guess what? Look at the last time it bubbled upwards to its previous all-time high. That was 2017. Okay, and obviously, if you look at it, kind of started in 2016 when it started bubbling up really quick, right? And then 2017 was a terrific year. So we're exactly on track, just like before. Right now, you can see 2023 starting to go up exponentially, kind of like in 2016, right? Basically, the start of the bull run in 2017 was the really bullish run. So if this keeps on going, 2024 is when you're going to have that top, right? And we continue forward. So I mean, it's all according to plan, but here's the thing. Every time we go through a cycle, do you notice that the supply last active plus 2 years is higher? And we keep making more highs. The holders are growing. They're not leaving. And I just mentioned earlier that you have a wave of people searching for Bitcoin, wanting to come in. That's why every single cycle, Bitcoin is higher, forms a higher high, higher low, because there's more people in the space that believe and to continue to hold on DCA. It's really that simple. Supply and demand, and supply is very low and demand is very high. And this shows that the amount of Bitcoin holders is rising, fastest rate since early 2021. No surprise. No surprise. Considering the Google searches indicate it's the most widely searched term in the world and in the US, right? Of course, the holders are going to be rising because there's so many people coming in and the previous holders continue to hold them. It's that simple. Jerome Powell and his rate hikes pretty much locked in. Yes, we may go up another 25 basis points, but no one thinks that we will move past 5% at this point because of all the weakness. So this last jobs report showed that even though, yes, we're still adding jobs, but it's coming in lower and lower and lower. So we're definitely seeing that softening. That's why we're starting to get some red days. Last week wasn't so good. This week off to a bad start, and people are still waiting to see what happens with inflation, which there will be another CPI reading this Wednesday, right? And we have FOMC minutes that's coming out on Thursday. This shouldn't really affect things because this just talks about what was discussed last meeting, but there may be a little surprise here or there. But overall, people want to know if inflation is going to keep going down or stay steady, or the worst thing would be to head back up. So you could see our peak was around June of last year, 9.1%. And since then, we have been coming down pretty good. January to February, 0.4% decrease, right? Are we going to see the same thing again? Are we going to go drop down to 5%? That would be amazing, right? But what if we don't? What if we stay at 6%? Or what if we increase? That would be horrible. The worst case scenario for Fed Chair Powell is this. Inflation starts going back up, yet jobs start going down and unemployment starts going up, because then it's not going to be easy, right? He had it easy where our jobs market was so strong, right? So he could keep raising rates without much consequences. But now recently we saw there are still consequences because banks are struggling. But if the jobs are going down, unemployment's going up, and inflation's going up, then all hell is going to break loose, because I don't know what he's going to do then. The tools in his arsenal are actually very limited if you think about it, right? So hopefully that's not going to be the case.